Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I just got done playing the OTB Open in Stockton, California. Heading into this event, I knew nothing about it. Came into town, checked out the course. The course is beautiful, the property is incredible, and I'm sure, as most of you guys know, the course is super tough and super awesome. I loved the course. It was an awesome event. Totally loved it. And as far as I heard, most of the other pros agreed with me. So OTB Open was awesome. Getting a look at that course, I knew coming into the tournament that this was going to be a thrower's course. So what I mean by that is it's not just a course where everyone is going to work their way to some birdie looks and whoever putts best is going to win. No. You are going to have to earn your birdie looks on that course. I truly believe that I am one of the best throwers in the game, so I knew that the OTB Open was going to be a good one for me. And if I was putting well, I knew it was going to be extra good. I knew I was going to find myself on lead card or in contention to win if the putter was working. So, round one, I played with Nico LeCastro, who's also one of the best throwers in the game. I've played more rounds with Nico LeCastro than any other player on tour. I think that has a lot to do with, one, his strongest point of his game is also throwing. I think he and I also really enjoy similar shot shapes. We both enjoy throwing flex lines, and if there was a weakness in both of our games, historically, it would be putting for both of us. So Nico and I kind of battled it out. He was doing a little bit better than me, but right towards the end, I think hole 17, which is one of the craziest, toughest holes, he took a big number, and then we ended up tying. At the end of the day, my first round was a good round. Not great, but it was definitely good. And so I ended up playing in round two with Nico as well. Now, in round two, I threw not well off the tee, but my putter was working great. I was making a lot of great putts, made a lot of really good saves, and so I salvaged an okay round out of a kind of a not so good day for me. Ended up on third card going into the final round, and let me tell you, that final round I was on point off the tee. I threw probably 16 out of the 18 holes really well. Unfortunately, my putter was not working in the final day. I threw a couple early putts that felt good, looked good, but they hit high. They hit that band, and so just was barely off on a couple putts early on. I think that caused my confidence to drop a little bit coming down the stretch, and so I continued to miss putts. I missed probably 6 very makeable putts and still shot 8 under. So that could have been a legendary round for me. Unfortunately, like I said, the putter was not working so well. So ultimately ended up with a good finish. I think I got 8th place, and so that was a strong weekend for me. It felt really good to finally play 3 good solid rounds in a row. None of them were amazing, none of them were mind-blowing or anything like that, but it was just some good solid play for me, which I have not seen much of this season. So that was a proud weekend for me, a good top 10 finish at a really tough course, and so I was definitely proud of what I was able to pull off last weekend, hoping I can build on that moving forward. Which brings us to Visalia. I got into town a couple days ago into Visalia, California for the End of the Trail Classic. I think this tournament has been going on for some time. I don't really know much about it. I'll talk about the tournament more in my next video. Right now, As promised, we're gonna get into some putter forehand action today. As I mentioned in the last couple of videos, that's definitely my specialty, and I just wanted to give you guys a couple insights. I've done a handful of private lessons over the last couple of years, and a lot of what people want to hear from me is forehand advice. I'm known for having a great forehand. That is kind of my area of expertise, more so than any other specific disc golf related topic. So today I want to share with you guys some of the kind of routines that I recommend to people. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, I guess, into what I might talk to you guys about if you came to me for a private lesson. I'm going to show you guys a couple quick little drills, and I hope something in this video helps you improve your forehand. All right, so before we get started, I just want to say a lot of people ask, what kind of disc do you recommend someone starting with when they're learning how to throw a forehand? I think of forehand almost exactly the same way as a backhand. So if I'm teaching someone backhand, I'm probably going to start them off with a putter or a mid-range, something that's easy to throw, that's going to fly pretty straight and true, and I'm going to tell them to learn how to use that properly so that then you can kind of advance to faster discs, more overstable discs, and you'll be able to use those properly later on. It's going to do you a lot better in the long run to learn how to use a slower disc properly. That's my opinion. And so that's the mindset we're going to use going into learning how to throw these putters forehand. All right, so if you came to me for forehand advice, first thing I'm going to tell you to do is just throw a couple in front of me so I can get a look at what's going on. This is my best impersonation of the average Joe. What I usually see happening is the discs are coming out with a lot of wobble. They're doing a fast nosedive to the left and cut rolling out from there. On this last one, I'm going to put on a little more hyzer angle to try to compensate for that wobble. But of course, it's just going to flip over quick anyway. And so now we're going to talk about a few little tips and adjustments we can make to smooth those putters out and increase spin and control. First thing we're going to talk about is grip. I'm just going to use a traditional stacked up grip, 2 fingers on the inside, 2 on the outside, thumb on top. Tuck that rim all the way back into the web between your thumb and your index finger. This is going to give you everything you need. Now, this spread out fan grip I don't love, mostly because it doesn't translate super well to drivers and other discs. The other thing is it decreases your potential for spin and power. Now, this power grip is also popular. I don't hate this grip, I just don't recommend it. I think most disc golfers could benefit hugely from just implementing simplicity into their game. Simple, simple, simple. And I think a big part of that is not switching back and forth between all different kinds of grips. You want this up and down pinch, this left to right pinch at the same time. You want that disc nice and snug to your hand. That's going to increase control and spin. The other big factor here is the wrist. In my earlier example, I was throwing with a very stiff wrist, and that really decreases spin. We're going to try to cock that wrist back, get that wrist movement involved, and what that's going to do is it's going to put some rotation on the disc. Discs are designed to rotate, and that allows them to do their job better. As much as I would love to tell you guys that you can just implement a few of these little tips and you'll be great at forehand, it's just not true. It's just like with anything else, it's going to take time, it's going to take practice, it's going to take hard work, but hopefully some of this stuff that we're talking about in this video can at least give you a head start and give you some specific drills and things to work on. Definitely play around with different angles as well. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to get these shots to land as flat as possible. I'm going to try to get them to not move at all once they hit the ground. I just want them to hit and sit. So this is me exploring the forehand, developing different angle control and spin control. This is developing your overall understanding of the shot. So mess around with a few different angles. And what I often see is once I give a couple tips, people want to go way out to 300 feet and let's give it a shot and see if I'm amazing at forehand now. Don't do that. Start up nice and close, throw gentle, learn how to control it from short range, throw 5 or 10, move back, throw 5 or 10, move back. Increase that comfort level as you go. And before you know it, you're going to be out here at 200 feet throwing them straight and true. At that point, if you put a driver in your hand, you're going to see some real good things happening. So I hope this has been helpful to some of you out there. In this clip, I just want to give you guys a look at how imperfect my form is. I'm known for being good at this stuff, but look at this, the angle of the disc, it changes so much. There's a lot of movement going on right here, a little bit of wobble. And so don't feel bad if it's imperfect. I think the other thing to learn here is film yourself in slow motion. I guarantee you it will teach you so much if you watch yourself throwing in slow-mo. Just working on this video, for me, I'm going to be walking away with a few little adjustments that I want to make and trying to clean up that release. Well, that's all I've got for you today. As always, thank you so much for joining. I'm Joel Freeman, you're watching Wholehearted, and we will see you all next time.